so we'll get started here. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Mindscope webinar series. For those of you joining for the first time, my name is Charlotte. I work in marketing at Mindscope. And today walking us through the session will be Shelby, who is a member of our sales team. So today we will be taking a full comprehensive look at a typical candidate journey from start to finish. So from the point where they apply for a job all the way to onboarding and all the little steps in between, we will be looking at how Mindscope can help with all of those stages. So as usual, you can leave your questions in the chat, but this week we'll be doing something a little bit different. So instead of having a Q&A session at the end, we will be recording all of your questions and then compiling them into a Q&A document that we'll send out following the webinar. So this way you can have them on file for future use, and you can also share them with your team if you'd like. So during the webinar, feel free to leave as many questions as you want, and we'll be sure to get you the answers to those. So just as normal, if everyone could keep themselves on mute, you can have your video on if you'd like, but just keep yourselves muted just to avoid any background noise. And Shelby, want to take it away?
All right, awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining today. So again, yes, as Charlotte mentioned, the Q&A session, please feel free to leave all and any questions you have. We have a lot to cover today, so that's why we're changing it up. And before I get started, I want to be very transparent on, who will be benefiting from these features today. So these features that we're going to be covering, they're primarily or exclusively features that are very beneficial for temp staffing. So if you don't really do much temp staffing, you're more than welcome to stay on this call. However, there is probably a lot that won't be of use for you. But if you are in temp staffing, this webinar is straight up your alley. So today what we're going to be covering is we're going to be covering the three major pain points that temp staffing really faces. What are those three major pinpoints? First of all, candidate engagement, how to attract new candidates and how to engage with them. Second of all, the onboarding process. What does that onboarding process look like? We want to try to eliminate as much manual or bringing candidates into the office, especially during COVID, so on and so forth. So you need a fast onboarding process. And then third is payroll, paying your candidates, invoicing your clients. So today we're going to be touching on those three major pain points. And what this webinar is going to look like is we're going to first talk about the attracting new candidates, so candidate engagement. So I want to show you our enhanced deluxe job board that our marketing division, Top Talent Communications, has designed. And so I want to kind of walk through the benefits of having that job board as well. And then we're actually going to go into the candidate journey. So what does it look like when a candidate applies on the job board, the onboarding process, and then we're going to discuss payroll options and invoicing and timesheets and so on and so forth. So on that note, I am going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, perfect. So you should be able to see my screen. Right now, I am on one of our clients' websites, AM and PM. So AM and PM is obviously does temp staffing for light industrial. And if I actually go ahead and search for jobs, it's going to bring up our job board. So first and foremost, right off the bat, this job board, it is completely customized. So it's branded, it's logoed, it fits the colors. Why is that important? It's because it actually looks like it's on your website. And really when candidates come onto your website, you have one shot to make a first impression. So you want to make it memorable. Second of all, especially in temp, a lot of your candidates are applying to jobs on the mobile device. A lot of them don't have desktops. They're on their mobile device, so you need a solution where it's user-friendly on their mobile device. So you have we've designed it so you have one column and you have the filters on the side. So let's say I'm a candidate and I'm looking for, a job with skilled, and in Piqua. So as you can see, it automatically refreshes and loads the jobs that are applicable to my filters. And the great thing is that instead of having to click into every single job to see if it's suitable, obviously that becomes frustrating. That takes a lot of time, especially if you're clicking and then having to go back, click, have to go back. What we have done now is that we've just, you can include as much in the description as possible so the candidate can gauge if that is a suitable job for them. Let's say it is. I see shipping loader here. I go ahead and click. So when I actually go ahead and post a new job and onto my website, the difference with this job board is that it's going to enhance your SEO, your search engine optimizer. So what that means is that every single time you create a new job order, it creates a new static page. What does that mean? With an iframe, it looks like the job board is actually on your website. However, it's not. It's a plugin. So when Google actually comes and crawls your website to re-index and rank your relevance and authority score, all of this important information here in the job description, in the job requirements, all of these keywords that your candidates or potential clients are looking for, it's being missed. So when Google comes and crawls, they're not seeing all of this relevant information. But with a static page, every single time you create a new job order, Google comes and crawls, they see all of this important information, and that's going to help enhance your web presence. Another great feature too is that this is where the most relevant information lies, is the H1 header. You get to, pretty much you get to note what that H1 header is. So shipping loader. If someone's looking for a job like that, you know, it's most likely going to appear. So you can go ahead, the candidate can apply, and we customize what fields you would like the candidate to you know, fill in. In temp staffing, a lot of candidates do not have a resume, but if they do, you can easily select browse. They would select their resume and it would auto-populate the fields. I'll show you that in just a minute when we actually go ahead and through the candidate experience. But you want to make it as close to a one-click apply as possible. Another great feature with this SEO job board is that it actually posts to Google Jobs. So if I go ahead and take this, this job, if I was actually located in Piqua, I wouldn't have to say my location, but obviously I'm not. I'm in good old Toronto, Canada. But if I actually go onto Google, a lot of candidates now, they're not going to the major job boards to search for jobs. A lot of people nowadays go to Google. They type in their job and up pops Google Jobs. As you can see, this job is the second job on the job board, meaning now you're going to capture a lot more candidates and your candidate rate is going to increase. Instead of seeing your job go to Indeed or ZipRecruiter, so on and so forth, you're actually receiving candidates and tracking them or directing them straight to your website. So if I go ahead and want to apply to this job, it will go straight to my website. Another huge thing too is that you will be getting and receiving a backlink directly from Google. That's the highest backlink, I guess the most important backlink. And to be able to have multiple backlinks, so on and so forth, again, it's only going to help increase your web presence. The last great feature about this Top Talent SEO job board is that you're actually going to be saving some money. So to be posting on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, all these major job boards, you're going to be saving price per click. From here, since it's going straight to your website, now your web presence is going to increase. You're not having to pay price per click, so on and so forth. So I just wanted to explain the importance of candidate engagement and what we offer to help attract more candidates. But now let's actually walk through what that looks like. So I'm just going to get rid of this. So this is just a demo job board. that we have designed just for this purpose. But let's say I'm a candidate, I want to go ahead and apply to the scaffolder position. My internet is a little bit slower today. So I go ahead, the job opens up. I want to apply. So this is where I'm going to show you how it is easy to have a one-click apply as possible. So I go ahead and I am going to select my resume, and today for this purpose, I am Chris Hemsworth. I am not as great of an actor as Chris Hemsworth, definitely not as in great of shape as Chris Hemsworth, but today I'm going to be Chris Hemsworth. So the little ball is spinning. What that's doing is auto-populating all of the needed information into the fields. Let's just say I'm in Ontario. All I have to do is select that I'm not a robot, press apply, and done. Once I see that, what happens with Chris, if I go into Chris's email, I'll receive an email. Oh, my internet's very slow today. And I'll receive an email that I just applied to the position. So if I actually go into Mindscope now, again, with the SEO job board, you'd have a full integration. So instead of having to, select where you would like to apply, post your job orders, we have a full integration with your website. So that candidate is automatically going to be parsed into Mindscope and attached to that specific job order that they applied to. So if I go into Chris's profile here, as you can see, it takes the previous company name, the experience, the marketing source, and all of the contact information. And if I actually go to job order match, as you can see, Chris applied to the scaffolder position on X date. Great. Chris is in the database. I reviewed him. I think he could be a great fit for many positions down the road. I need to onboard him now. So I'm not sure how many people are aware of our integration with Able, formerly known as EmployeeStream. But we have partnered with Able, and the reason why is because we wanted an easy onboarding solution. So now in our new UI, we have a full two-way integration. And if I want to go ahead and send Chris onboarding documentation, I would select what package would go out to him and so on and so forth. All I would have to do is press the sync button. Since I have already synced him, I'm going to get a resync from Mindscope to Able. It may reset values, but if I actually haven't synced him up, I could go ahead and press sync. Pops open. Oh no, just logged me out. Sorry, give me 1 second. I think someone just logged into this database. So I go into Chris again. All right, so we should have him synced up. Now we have a new tab, onboarding. The onboarding is going to show you your EmployeeStream profile. So once I have pressed sync, again, this is a mobile-friendly onboarding solution, meaning it's going to eliminate, candidates having to fill out a lot of forms, having to have them come into the office, your recruiters sending out the forms, chasing them down. You don't know where they are at this stage, so on and so forth. With Able, you're able to track absolutely everything that's going on the recruiters during the recruiter's onboarding process. And the great thing is that the candidate can actually fill all of this documentation on their mobile device, meaning their W-2s, their I-9s, sorry, W-4s, I-9s, their banking information. We can do the e-signifier or e-verify. Pretty much whatever you need that candidate to fill out, any of the documentation, you can go through Able. So now I synced, and what I did when I pressed sync is it sent Chris an email. So Chris will get an email saying, welcome aboard, please send out or please fill out all of this information. actually, so I need to resend, sorry, because I already synced him before. So what your recruiter can do, if they actually didn't get the welcome email, you can easily just go ahead and resend it. And you can also send alert to finish profile. So this button is very important because if I see that he, you know, for some reason, Chris stopped at step number 3, and it's 2 days later, I need him to fill it out, I can send an alert for him to finish the profile. So now if I am Chris Hemsworth, which I am, I'm channeling him, I got my email and it says, welcome to ABLE portal from Mindscope US. This is where I can go ahead and activate my account. So from the candidate experience, I'm on my phone. I want to activate my account. I need to fill out all of the information that I have not. So first and foremost, I go ahead and create my password. Now I have my username. I fill out my password again to log in. So now I've signed up and I've logged in. This is my profile here. So it says that I've only completed 10% of the profile. Now I want to go ahead and complete the profile. So as you see, all of the fields that were in Mindscope that contains, you know, Chris Hemsworth information, it auto-populates into the fields in ABLE 2. So it's going to eliminate the candidate of having to always fill out their email address, their number, so on and so forth. They only need to fill out that information once, and that's it. So the likelihood of candidate actually dropping off is less likely than them actually completing their onboarding package. We'll go ahead and do that. So he fills it in, current residence, press next. Great. Now I can select my availability. I only want to work days, afternoons, and evenings. I can start on Monday. What's my minimum wage that I want? I say 15. I press next. Great. I see all of my information here. All I have to do is go ahead and select this, bachelor's. Did you complete? Yes. Final year, confirm, so on and so forth. So I think because I resynced this multiple times, it's popping up all of the duplicates. So this is why you do not resync, because you won't need to. The only time you ever have to sync the onboarding is the very first initial step, once you actually send them their very first onboarding package. All right, so the candidate just needs to fill out the missing fields. Did I complete it? Yes, I did. Press confirm. Once all of the needed information is actually filled, then I can press next. So all of those requirements, the candidate cannot miss those steps. Again, this is just going through his job application. Just going to go ahead and delete all this. And we will fill out his previous 2. So he worked at the job position, just have to select the state. He can edit absolutely any of these fields as well. So if there was information that was not correct, then I can go ahead and, or the candidate can go ahead and fill all of that information out. So this is where you can get your reference checks as well. Can we contact? Yes or no. I did not work at a temporary job. So as you can see, it's a pretty easy way to get candidates to fill out the needed information in a quick, easy manner. Left country. We'll just say he upped and left. He moved from Australia all the way over to the States. Supervisor's name again, Justin Timberlake. Can we contact? Sure, and no, I did not. So as you can see with the red stars, that means that it is a required field. And now I can complete my application. So what did that look like in Mindscope? So if I actually go back into Mindscope and I just go ahead and refresh, it's going to show me the completed stages that he has, or what stage he is at in the onboarding process. Loading profile. And as you can see, we just walked through those stages, and in Mindscope, it shows that he has completed absolutely everything. So since I have completed my document or my profile, now these are the documents that Mindscope has told me to fill out. So let's get started. So again, it fills out all of the needed information. I don't have a middle name. And all I have to do is get the social security number. The date of birth, 01/01/1980. Go ahead, press next. So you can select whatever form you need the candidate to fill out, and it will select what requirements are needed. So you're going to see here that we can go ahead, fill out multiple documents in a matter of minutes, whereas possibly some of you, it might take days for the candidate to complete. It might even require your recruiters to constantly be following up. So this is a process where it will create productivity and efficiency in your workplace and help you place more candidates and fill more positions. Now that I have completed all that, again, instead of having to print off a document, sign it, scan it, that's creating a lot of work for the candidate. Now they can go ahead and sign here with the touch of their mouse or their finger, and I can go ahead and insert everywhere. So as you can see, it fills in the signature. It would fill in all of the information for the tax form. I just need to select the country, so on and so forth. Continue, I agree, and I'm done. I think that might have taken a few minutes, and I think it took a little bit longer because my internet was a little slower, but that's it. So now if I actually go into Mindscope and I am under his onboarding, I can see, oh, I just need to refresh here, but I'll be able to see all of the documents that Chris signed. And as, if I go onto his profile, I can easily download those documents, send it to where need be, but it will always be on his profile and it will always be accessible. So if I go on to onboarding, these are all of his documents. So I can either download all and it will download and send me an email, or I can easily just take a look at the documents as well. The great thing is that it also will auto-populate the fields that we're missing into the fields on his profile too. So the education history, the employment history, and so on and so forth. And if you actually go into activity to date as well, it will show all of these steps that Chris fulfilled. And perfect. So that is our onboarding integration with Able. So this is a new feature in the new UI. So now that we have onboarded Chris, let's talk about payroll. So as I'm sure most of you are aware, we integrate with many payroll solutions, QuickBooks, ADP, Microsoft Dynamics, or Great Plains, and so on and so forth. And we also supply invoicing and timesheets. So the great thing is that you can create as many invoices, completely customize it for your clients and bill your clients as need. And with our timesheets as well, you can have the candidates fill out the timesheets or the clients fill out the timesheets, and it will parse into Mindscope as well. So again, we try to eliminate as much manual entry as possible because that leaves room for error. So with the integration instead, you would just have to go and adjust any, mistakes that were possibly made, but there is no manual entry. So that was just kind of a brief walkthrough of our candidate journey for temp staffing. Again, thank you so much for joining. It was a little bit of a long one, but yeah, again, if you have any questions, leave it in the chat. We're going to be sending out a document to answer all questions, and we shall be sending that out. So again, it's easily accessible. So thank you very much. And Charlotte, all you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shelby. That was awesome. So I don't see too many questions in the chat, but that's quite all right. If anyone does have questions, feel free to forward them to myself or to Shelby. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed the webinar. We hope you have a great weekend, and we will be sending out communication for the next webinar, which will be in 2 weeks from today. So have a good day, everyone.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.